Yo, people, Fit Bully here. Oh, T-Fit here with Fit Bully TV. Ah, man. Don't forget to subscribe. We're sitting here with a dog. Go ahead and tell them your name.
My Dog Mom on TikTok, My Dog's World on YouTube, and Fit Bully Kennels Dallas.
There you go. Listen, one of the hardest things, and I will tell you this, I won't say it's one of the hardest things, but the challenge that I've heard in terms of stories and just people in this dog space, definitely in the bully world, could be in other dog places, but finding a good kennel partner or kennel partners. It is very difficult when there's money on the table. And when money gets involved, people start acting funny. So you've got to be sure about who you are and who you're not and who you are working with. And there's got to be just something about the person that's both sincere and the beliefs have to align. She's sitting here because you come from, all kinds of spaces. You was tending to the bar, you was doing real estate, you were vet. I mean, you walked down a few roads. Yeah. Been all over the place.
All over.
and you know how I've listened to some of the stories that she told about people when she's trying to close properties even, and seems like the relationship's going good, and then all of a sudden can't find a motherfucker, or they don't want that price, or they want more money.
Yeah. They try to con you and try to make you give them more money, but their house ain't worth shit. So they try to go behind your back and they end up being shady. There
you go. And guess what? The same thing happens in the dog space. So there are people who do what we call putback deals for once. We'll start there. A putback deal is when potentially I sell you a girl or a boy if I like him, but normally this, from my experience, happens more with a girl. And I give her to you at a discounted price. And then we agree on either a male, or I want to use your male, or I say when she does a litter, despite who you use, I want a puppy off the litter. Could be a third pick or first pick, depending on what type of price I cut your ass. Well, it happens all the time. Someone says, oh, bet, I'll do it. Guess what happens? Not only do you not get the pup back, they start acting funny. You can't find their ass. So one of the ways in which you prevent that from happening, if you do a pup back deal, make sure you keep your papers until the dog has its litter and that litter comes to fruition and you get your puppy, period. You really have to trust the person to give them everything all included. You know what I mean? And maybe you don't know what I mean, but some of you do. And I've heard, just awful stories. So you learn very quickly. Make sure you get your money at the door, like most places that do business, and don't get caught up with people who lack integrity. So in the housing industry, and you're in the dog space now.
Yeah.
I saw a sincerity with this individual and Jamarcus as well when it came to them caring for my dogs, and now it's a house full of fucking dogs. and what I've seen consistently is the energy stay the same. When it comes to dogs, no matter what's going on in their lives or their everyday endeavors, be it challenging, they keep a positive attitude and good energy when it comes to the dogs. Dogs really do light up this individual's world and this person's life. And I can say I watch those little things where you're like, man, it's getting tough. And no matter how tough it gets or how many dogs there is, attitude still stays the same. And you're like, man, that's the person I want to work for. So I even put in perspective. We did another video and I talked about bringing them into my world. That being, this dog is worth this. So most people, and I'm just painting a picture here, most people who have done the hard part would have, we'll say, cut them potentially short or been what they consider fair. My fair is half. It's only right. And if there's other things that need to be discussed or taken care of, I just let them know up front. Like, hey, we might do this and I need this much versus that. But point is I raised Zara where we had our first litter. I trained Zara. I did such and such. We sold 3 puppies and it basically came to about $12,000, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. I gave him half of the $12,000. They did, in my opinion, they were doing just as much work because they helped with the whooping. Mind you, I was here and I helped as well. But I wanted them to feel good about the direction in which I believe we could take this thing. And if money is what we call an equalizer, there's always more money to get. So take care of the people that you're with. Make sure that dogs, in terms of a livelihood, are not your livelihood, and have something else that funds all of the progress that needs to take place. Dogs do not make or break me. It is literally something I enjoy doing. And yes, it does come with the price, which is why I have to put a cost on this thing. but I'm happy to split share and give whatever I can to those people who invest their time and energy into this thing. So I know you're new to this and you don't know a lot about kennel partners and all this stuff. Probably didn't even know what I was talking about when I said it the first time. But so far, what are some things that you've learned about having a kennel partner, and even more importantly, what are some things you would, just from even your history with the real estate stuff, what are some things people could do to prevent themselves from getting fucked over?
Definitely know who you're going into business with, first and foremost. You have to know if this individual is trustworthy, honest, if they're, not going to screw you over, because in this world, especially the business world, there is no friends. Like, you have to 100% trust this person with your life, because you guys are going to be making money together, and you don't want to be taking, or you don't want someone to be taking money out of your family's mouth. So you have to make sure that you trust this person, you know this person, and ultimately both of you guys can work together, because if you have two separate personalities that you guys are always clashing, it's not going to work, because then you get into he didn't tell me this, or, well, I didn't know this was going on, and, you want to make sure you get it all out on the table, and you're able to talk and communicate openly, like adults, about any issues or problems in the working relationship.
There you go. And anything in life requires growth, people. So you're going to constantly grow, and your eye's going to change as well. But the intent must stay the same. No matter what you're doing, your intent must stay the same. And our intent here is to breed healthy dogs, is to make sure that we take care of our business, that we speak clearly, and that we're upfront about the things we need and the things we're doing, and we help where we can help. So finding a good kennel partner in these days of time, it seems like it's getting a little tougher. Again, I know a lot of people, and the people I'm around have been relatively blessed to have great mentors and partners, but they also have some fright night stories for you. And you say, whoo, I do not want that to happen to me, but let me be very clear in telling you this. It's very difficult to do it alone. It is difficult to take care of this many dogs. If you're like me and want to build a bloodline, normally you need at least 5 dogs to even start that process, or know where you're going to outcross some things. And I believe in producing the majority of the things that I want to create for our bloodline. And that takes space, time, energy, care, love, and fucking money. That's what it takes more than anything, is fucking all those things. But at the end, some fucking money. Mm-hmm. And that being said, we're all working very hard to bring this thing to life, and the dogs are yielding a high return on us being better human beings, which forces us to find better ways to help invite you into a space that allows us to educate and teach you how to do things optimally. See, there's good things and there's like optimal. There's 100 and there's like 110. There's 10 more things you could do to be better. I want to give you those extra 10 things if you're doing all that you can, because one of those things could save your dog's life, or just better you as a handler, owner, and lover of whatever breed you're getting involved with. So finding a good kennel partner, again, a lot of times I would say, if you have the paperwork, keep the paperwork. If you're an AKC person, normally there's a way in which to type in a code so that you can prevent them from fucking you over, and you can literally pet home the dog via paperwork. I don't know that the ABKC specifically has that option, and paper hanging is a real thing as well. So somebody might just say, fuck you regardless, and hang the papers and list the dog under a different breed number and register those puppies as whatever, and that's a whole nother issue. But kennel partners, in my opinion, are normally a dime a dozen. I don't know, because I ain't looking for a bunch of them, but I tell you one thing, I'm blessed and grateful to have found 2 people who are heavily invested in the well-being of dogs, and our dogs specifically, and any other dogs that we come in contact with, because those people I can lead to the promised land and work with, and even more importantly, learn with. So, anything else I'm missing?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to touch on the whole kennel partner thing.
Go ahead.
So if you find yourself, needing a mentor or anything like that,
don't call me, but go get one.
Yeah, don't call him. He's already busy as it is. But if you need help, like going into the breeding business, find out what makes yourself valuable. What can you bring to the table? If you don't have money, then you better put in that sweat equity, because nothing's free and nothing's guaranteed. So any skills that you have that you can learn, develop, or even put towards trying to build this up, while, you know, somebody on the other hand can, you know, finance it or whatever. You guys can work together. Just make yourself valuable in that aspect to be that partner that you would want if you were on the other side.
And I'm gonna try to paraphrase because I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that they're getting it.
Yeah.
These dogs in the bully space are not cheap.
They're definitely not cheap.
and I could tell you, in this house alone, there's probably $40,000-$50,000 worth of dogs.
Yeah.
And what she said is everybody plays their part. that's to say the least. But they did. They put their money where their mouth was originally, which is also what I appreciated. Took care of the stud fee for Hot Shot. And, you know, now it's a matter of, as I told them, I need them to do the work. You know, if I have to go out, for that matter, and get $100,000, I'm okay doing that. But I need them to take care of these dogs.
First priority.
Yeah, and that's where they're thriving. But in layman's terms, you heard what she said. Know your role in any business, right?
Yeah.
Know your role and do that well. Communicate what you think you do best, and allow someone to allow you to be the best in that space. Because we don't want to get confused here with who's doing what. I don't step on her toes. I really want her to be as great as people think I am, or as I believe she can be, most importantly. And that takes doing these sit downs, talking dog, working through dog stuff, showcasing the things she's working on. She's got some food company coming soon for dogs and their treats. It's a lot of stuff being worked on, and I'm going to make sure it's all highlighted, and that it helps. It helps you help your dog. So, on that note, T-Fit, Fit Bully TV, I'm here with It's Wrist Bitch, signing off.